Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Welcome in, everyone. We have a treat today. It's going to be powerful. I can feel it already. I'll wait for you guys to come in. Let me know if you can hear me okay. 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 Okay, I'm going to test the feedback here. Let me welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me test it out myself here really quickly. It's going to be very powerful today, guys. Very, very powerful. Okay. Okay. All right. I think it's okay. All right. Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. This is Tahirah, Mother of the Ages. I'm your supernatural quantum healer. I specialize in past life regression, quantum healing, technology, hypnosis, where I help you get free from demonic entities, soul tear, soul ties, breaking generational curses, breaking you and your lineage, your DNA out of bondage from the evil one that has plagued our soul since the beginning of time. If you'd like to book your own consultation, your own private session with me, just email instructions number 4, humanity@gmail.com. All right. So I'll wait for some of you guys to get here. But nevertheless, what we're going to do today is I've been getting, uh, receiving a message from Brother Panic. And to be honest with you, I don't have the full message, but he's been showing up in my dream state. And I know that there's something that he needs to say. And so I want to be the medium today to facilitate that. And he's been showing up just kind of randomly for the past few weeks. And yeah, I got a confirmation today and I was like, yeah, you need to come here and talk about and see, become the medium to see what he wants to say, because I feel that he has a very powerful message from the spirit realm today, guys. So I was sitting here, and to be honest with you guys, if it wasn't for Brother Panic, I really wouldn't be here in this capacity. I would not have gained the amount of knowledge and to be fearless. The true thing of what he taught me is to be authentic and to be fearless. Had I not, had I not met Brother Panic as a teacher, right? As a spiritual teacher, I may be showing up a lot differently, and my role within Source would be a lot different. And I'm so grateful for this man and his teachings and his contribution to humanity and to spirituality and just to the path of ascension. And I want to say that so many of you, you may not know, I'm not sure on this channel, but Brother Panic, he passed away last year. I think his passing, 1 year is coming up soon. And he's left us with a lot to unpack. So this is I'm going to be kind of a medium because I think he wants to deliver a message. Okay. So the first thing, I was sitting here and I was doing some automatic writing here, and he starts to speak a few words of alchemy and transcendence, right? And trust the process, right? And he points out a few other things, right? Welcome in, welcome in. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. Please let me know if you can hear me. I kind of have some music playing in the background, but I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so he he starts talking to me about alchemy, and then I go just to like bring up Brother Panic, and the first video I see is about alchemy. And so this just confirms the message that we really need to hear today. It's alchemy is the path to ascension. We don't ascend first and then alchemize. We alchemize to reach transcendence. The transcendence, the alchemize to reach transcendence is what brings your ascension. And when you do it this way, it could be a bit louder. A bit louder, please. Okay, 1 second. Okay. How about now? Okay. How about now? We got to get this right. Okay, we got to get this right. How's the sound now? Let me know if that's okay. Let me know if that's okay. So, I'm going to be a medium today, and I'm going to be a channel to bring through what it is that Brother Panic would like to say to us about alchemy being the path to our ascension. One thing I do want to point out, and I think this is a powerful lesson. See, when I first met Brother Panic, I was afraid of him because he was teaching on things that, we're always taught to be afraid of. Anything dark, you got to be afraid of it. He was speaking on things about, I remember one of his videos were about the Baphomet. I just ran away. I ran away. It's like I almost shut my computer down, like it was like a child who saw something she wasn't supposed to see, right? And at that time, I did not have the capacity to hold that sort of energy, to even explore what was the lesson within that. And so it was like 2 years later, right, when my conscious state of awareness had caught up to where he was, then I was ready for it, for the medicine. Then I was ready for the knowledge that he possessed. And I was really sitting here just kind of getting teared up because, like, without him, without me being challenged on my walk, on my path to ascension and enlightenment, his soul, his knowledge naturally challenged me. And this is why I'm able to show up fearless, because of Brother Panic, right? And there's people who reach out to me. There's people who are scared of me, believe it or not. There's people who tell me, I'm scared of you. You know who you are, right? But that's the thing. And I'm so happy to be your teacher, because what we often fear things we don't understand. And when we don't understand things, this is exactly where we need to ascend from. It's the point, it's the starting point that starts our ascension. That fear marks the spot. So when you are fearful in life, it will mark the spot where you need to be. It's saying there's something here, but we always fear the things we don't understand. So oftentimes we don't go down that path, but this is the path. As long as you keep source first and God first, nothing can harm you. But in truth, we have to talk about what Brother Panic is urging for us to talk about today is alchemy, because I think there's a problem within our ascension. People are trying to ascend. We're trying to do all of the meditations, all of the cleansings, all of the healings, but we're forgetting to the alchemy, the alchemy. And the alchemy can only be done within self. Thank you, I am warrior. I call you my teacher. Beautiful. Thank you. And I'm so honored to be your teacher. And to be honest, I don't teach about alchemy. This is truly Brother Panic that wants to be here to talk about alchemy. And maybe too today I'm going to learn something. So I'm going to go ahead and ground into the energy of what Brother Panic wants to say about alchemy. So just bear with me. Let's go ahead and respect him as being a very powerful teacher. I'm already tearing up. I know that his energy is present. Let's go ahead and respect him, and to create a space where we can get this message from our late Brother Panic. Thank you so much, Shannon. Okay, thank you. Gambone reta henanene. Himbona karashandeta lirambona kereteli raneta. Hambona kararishandi rambete raneta buretere. Hikana de shandeata hambona karashimbarane. Himona karaleta henia shandeata bandira tirambona. Himbona karaninandira tikandira bandira tahambona karashaniranian. Himona karata bataram betena hennaram bena karashambena. Baneta kananiram bata. Mimona shambira nerelambete la kidanireta lirambonereta haniete. Himona karashambete lirambonerete ne. Himbona kananani shambona. All right, first thing, Brother Panic truly wants to say, and maybe it might be good for you guys to know who Brother Panic is. So I was just gonna bring this up for a moment. Um, this is Brother Pan. He's been teaching here for many, many years. He to me, he is the number one spiritual teacher to me because he offered something that others did not. He challenged me. I wouldn't even be removing entities from people had this man not challenged me because I feared him. I feared his teachings. I feared what I perceived as darkness. So to me, Brother Pan is the number one spiritual teacher. This is where I hold him because he challenged me. And so now he's he's actually sending like love to me. He's talking about the frequency, right? So what he's saying is that there are many of us, and he specifically talks about me, but I'm opening up this to all of us. There are many of us who have alchemized the old system, the old paradigm. There has been a certain way that things have been ran for so long within the spiritual realm. And what he's specifically talking about is what, and it lines up with all the work we've done this past week. What he is specifically talking about is the Demiurge, guys. It's the Demiurge who set up the false system, the reincarnation soul trap. And it's a system that has been working like a well-oiled machine. What he's saying is that through all of what we've been doing, all of the teachings, all of the guidance, all of the healings, all of the removals, we have changed the frequency here on earth. This is what he is saying. It's like, kudos to you. You have alchemized. You've alchemized the earth, and it has brought a mighty signal up into the ethers, into the stars. Our alchemization of the frequency has changed the placements in the stars. And I think I spoke about this before. Nothing will ever be the same, is what he's trying to say. And the very thing that has opened doors in the spirit, this is what he wants to say. What has opened doors in the spirit? What has opened doors in the spirit is every door they told you to stay out of here in the physical. If you are in religion, they tell you not to go looking in other places. Truly, what he's saying is what has opened doors when we start to research ancient, all the ancient civilizations. Those of us who thirst for the knowledge in these ancient civilizations, because remember, the Ankh is the way into creation. This is why everyone is fascinated with ancient Egyptian time, because this was the starting point for your soul to come in. This is what the Ankh represents spiritually. And the Christ are the coordinates out of this simulation. This is how you have completed. You've completed the matrix at this point. This is how you get out. So you can't get out of here without aligning with the Christ as well. So the Christ is very important. But what he's saying is what has opened doors is all of the doors that they told us to keep shut. And this is powerful because, much like me, being very fearful of Brother Panic's messages, I shut it out. But that was the very door that I needed to open in order to do what I'm doing now, in order to stand up to these demonic beings and entities. So it's the doors that the greater wise society tell you do not open. This is what has allowed humanity to not only raise the frequency, but what he shows me is that there's something penetrating, from the cosmic sphere down here. It's like it's something that penetrates down here that sends out some sort of like pulse waves, right? And I'm not sure how we did this, but somehow what happened is it hit the floor. And I don't know if this is the earth. There's something that has happened, and it was a point of activation for us that now through, and I think he's talking about some sort of I think meteorites. When stars fall down from the sky, is that meteorite, something like that? And I'm not sure if we've had any of those events lately, but he's kind of giving reference to that. There's something that came down that now is what is allowing our frequency to rise. There was something that needed to be opened within the cosmic rays, is what he is saying. And he's saying that this is why he has gone forward, gone ahead of us to actually open those doors for those cosmic rays to come down. It feels as if it's some sort of meteorite. This could be the solar flashes and flares as well, but it's definitely something coming from beyond to now enter and penetrate into our atmosphere. Once it hit the bottom of our atmosphere, this is what the magic was. Now, all of the work that we've been doing on a galactic level, on a even he's given reference to astrology as well, and just within our own teachings, and just opening those doors that they told you to keep shut. Somehow, whatever has come down has provided the right symmetry and balance for now all of our work to go up. So essentially, it was at that point when the ether reached down to the earth, caused a great alchemization of all of the work that us spiritual teachers, leaders, prophets, prophetesses have been doing for a very long time. And this is why we feel like, how come we keep pushing and pushing, but nothing is ever getting done? It's because, remember, guys, talks about this in the cosmic Bible. There's something called a cosmic time clock. A cosmic time clock is how higher dimensional beings move. They do not move to your earthly beat. They do not. It's when the energy shifts, this is when they move. And the energy could take 1,000 years, 10,000, one day. So when we can shift the energy, this is what triggers higher dimensional beings to now move. And I want to reiterate this because now Father Source is chiming in. This is how you get your prayers answered too. It's about energetic alignment. So when you use alchemy takes something that maybe was perceived to be bad, and now it takes it and it makes it for the highest possible good, turning a negative into a positive, right? There's something itchy in my throat. so um so this is very important. So the energetic shift also too is how we get our prayers answered, because remember, we have to be on the cosmic time clock. The cosmic time clock is how higher dimensional beings move, and this is when things get done here on the earth school, and when your prayers get answered as well. So kudos to humanity. All the work that we've done, that has all now been alchemized, and now what it is doing is It's rearranging things within the higher dimensions, within the ethers, right? This is totally dismantling the demiurge, right? The demiurge, Yaldabaoth, which I just, we removed that beast, this week or last week rather. And now it makes a lot more sense why he's reaching out, because I was part of this as he's gone ahead to work to release the meteorite. Feels like a meteorite of some sorts. To release that energy to now come down, to alchemize, to now bring the frequency that we've been working on. I see the frequency, the higher stance, now mobilizing the energy, and everything that was standing in our way from true portals. Thank you, Source. Portals are not necessarily bad. It's an interest point, egress as well, to now lead us to transcendence as well. These things have been blocked out because they're what? Things that you fear. So this is why the Vatican was able to open up all those portals, because they knew you wouldn't go looking because you fear it. And so they've been in control. They've been able to alchemize our fear for all of this time. And this is a very poignant conversation, because the fear is actually what is allowing the evil one to win. When we pour our fear onto their template, onto their code, it's becomes a very powerful, almost like a potion for them. Your tears of fear, right? Your just innate fear becomes something that they can alchemize. And this has been how they have been winning for a very long time, but that has shifted. So the demiurge goes away now. Yaldabaoth goes away. We are coming into the understanding of the true living God, which is the spoken word. Anything outside of the living waters, the living word, is dead. And what that means is we are in the eternal moment of now. Anything that is outside of the eternal moment of now is dead. So we stay here. We stay right here. This is exactly where we need to be. Okay, someone asked, can we go beyond creation and the Milky Way galaxy to other creations? Oh my God, thank you so much for asking this, because going beyond creation, this is what actually, see, thank you, Brother Panic. This is what brought me back to Brother Pan, because I was coming into revelations that it's not about necessarily breaking out the matrix. It's about going beyond creation. And when I had that revelation from Source, that you got to get out of creation if you truly want to be out of all the matrices, then this is where Pan met me right here. And from then I was just like, yes, that's my teacher right there. So yes, I want to ground into those energies and really get some more questions answered about going beyond creation. And I want to get it from the standpoint of what Brother Pan has to say about that. Okay. So going beyond the Milky Way, right? Our galaxy, and into other creations, right? All right. Give me a second. Thank you very much. Welcome in, Sister Gal. All right. Let's see what Brother Pan has to say. Well, there is something that he's talking about, spaceships as well. He's talking about that. And I have some codes here that he's given me, so I'm trying to decipher them. Give me a second. Okay. Minana karambandiri shani ambuanara. Bimbanereta karirambaterete shanirani ati ambuana. Minenata karamira nishimbate nenambanireti. Himonere hanire shamberne kararam barani. Hamburo tale anni shane ambuana karare etalire ambuana shanireta. Himona karabani shanira mbona karambani tane hombona karashanira ambani handire ati karesta hambro tare ati hinan bone shanambona. Thank you. So what Brother Pan is saying, he wants us to stand firm, stand strong. He's saying that the power dynamics have shifted. We are now in a position, I'm hearing in a position of glory. There are beings looking at us like, how the heck did they do this? When I tell you there's a powerful light being exuded out of humanity right now, even the ones that we perceive to be non awoke, no, 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 no. That's not what he's saying. From the cosmic sphere, we all are exuding this yellow golden light. Humanity as a whole, remember, individual ascension, a collective rising. The rising is the raise, right? So this is what I am saying. Higher dimensional beings, even the Demiurge, the ones that we perceive to be holding us down in this matrix, we are now standing in a position of glory. They are looking at this young creation of humanity, and we are exhibiting golden rays, golden light. So when you see a picture of Jesus, you know how he always is depicted with the sun behind his head in every single photo. This is what humanity has. And they are wondering, how did they do this? This young creation called humanity, how did they do this? We have ascended. We have alchemized. We have alchemized the fear they threw at us. We have alchemized the doors that they told us never to open, or God would smite us for seeking knowledge. We've alchemized that. And now they are wondering, how did this young creation do this? And that is very beautiful, because what Brother Pan truly wants to say is that we are in a position of power now. We were once powerless. I want you to understand that the tide has shifted. We now have to think from the source mind, from the multidimensional mind. We are no longer we are the singularity now of source, but we're no longer thinking within the individual thought processes, right? We have access to the collective mind because you have the golden light behind you, right? We did that, is what he's saying. We alchemized that. We used alchemy. We alchemized the fear in the fear templates and all of the trauma and drama that they put us through. And so we have literally killed off the ones that were holding us within captivity. You're free. You are free. There will be die-off of the Yaldabaoth and his army of confusion. There will be die-off from the Demiurge and the 12 zodiac gods that we are forced to live underneath their energy. There will be die-off of the energies that they control. Like I've said before, these signs are shifting. I've seen it before. Like, for instance, the characteristics of each sign, the Aries, the Capricorn, right? The Scorpio, the Libra, these are shifting because we did that. We alchemized to now ascend. So now everything shifts. What I want you to know is humanity is leading the charge. This young creation, thank you so much, Brother Pam. This young creation is leading the charge. Man, people were not people, but the beings, right? That they watch us. They are so excited. We figured it out. We broke the codes. We did that, you guys. We did it. We did it. If you look back at all the videos that you've researched, all the work that you've done, if you've on this channel, you've done a level of work. If you look back at how long you've been searching for truth, it was that seeking. And if you seek, you should find. And if you seek me with all your heart, then the door will be what? The door will be opened. You see the oxymoron to all of this. They told you not to open up those doors. But then it also says, if you seek and if you search with all your heart, then what? You will find the answer, but the door will be opened. So you must seek. You must seek. And on some level now, it's even given reference to DeepSeek or Chat GPTs of the world. We must seek, but that's just it. It's a portal. Thank you. When you are utilizing Chat GPT and all these other AI tools, it's a portal to your ascension, but most people are getting stuck within the chat, within these systems. They're talking to it side by side when it is a portal through to get to your ascension. You're not to stay there. It's a door. So Brother Pan wants us to know we have shifted the astrological signs. And so what this means is when we go beyond creation, circling back around, welcome in, Sister Gail, circling back around, answer your question, going beyond creation. Well, this has been the problem with this young creation called humanity, that we couldn't get beyond creation because there's also not only the Demiurge, and I believe there's 12 of them too, not only the Demiurge and the Archons keeping us and redirecting us to Yaldabaoth and not the true living God, which is the living word, which is the flowing waters, which is the eternal moment of now. There is no past, present, or future. It just is. It's the great I am vibration. Sources of vibration. If there's no vibration, there's no source. If there's no soul in it, there's no source. So I want to point this out, getting back on track. They're very excited about this creation called humanity and how we have not only transcended the Demiurge, the Archons, Yaldabaoth, right? Now we're operating back from what? The one divine mind. Okay? Which now we can kind of now line up with creation because we're back to the one divine mind. So I'm going to hold the mind over here for a second. Now let's circle back to the 12 zodiac signs, which the other thing is this. You couldn't get beyond creation, being held down every single month under these different astrological signs, because Libra says you must seek balance, and Cancer says that you must, be emotional and empathic, right? And the other sign says you must be, you must be strong. Because now there's always someone controlling you each month. So that has been another problem, keeping us bounded here. But all of that, when we alchemize, when these meteorites or solar flares or flashes came down, which this is what Brother Pan has went ahead to work on those things, to release that, to now all of the teachings that he has left, all of the teachings that we're all doing here constantly, and all of the other master teachers that have come and gone. There was something from the ethers that had to be released to now come down here, bind to the atmosphere, to now alchemize the frequency. And we dissolve the fear template. And now the alchemization has led to the collective rising, to the ascension through the ascension portal. Now you have open doors. And now they're looking at us like, how did we do that? And so what you will start to feel now, and what you should be doing is every month when you are underneath these signs, right? When you are influenced by the energy of them, the 12 zodiac gods, you are to reject their code, reject their program. Most people think it's a good thing. Most people do. They don't know that this is all part of the captivity. Part of the captivity was the Demiurge. You knew that was the obvious bad. But remember, on this channel, we are refining the light. And so refining the light is you are picking out the lower vibration of the higher solid, which is source. So the lower vibration of the higher solid. Now we look at now the vibrations of 12, because remember, it's all about 12. Christ is the number 13, which is how you're standing in sovereignty, but you have to get to the 12th vibration to even get out, right? So this was part of the captivity they gave us. When most people would think, oh, it's a good thing. Oh, I'm just going to be under my sign. Girl, I'm like this because, I'm a Gemini and I got two faces. No, nope, no, no. This is showing you who you have to war against. And what it's showing you, these 12 zodiac gods, it's showing you the fight within self. Remember what I said in the Cosmic Bible, guys? You can pick that up on Amazon. I said that the next leg of humanity's expansion is about the God within. And these astrological signs is the only true way we can actually now get back all the way and to go beyond creation, because you have to release all of the shackles from this world. It's just like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. You got to give the chocolates back. And then now you rise, right? You have to give it all back, and then now you rise. And so this is what we're doing now. So when you are underneath these signs and you feel the tug of war within self, this is where you know you need to be. You are battling the god of Gemini, right? The zodiac god is what I call it. You're battling the god of Aries. You're battling the god of Pisces. You're battling it. And what you're saying is, I choose to alchemize in order to rise. I choose to allow the energies, feel the energies, alchemize it, alchemize the bad traits. We don't just accept it because we were born underneath that sign. Sometimes our birth date is part of our captivity. Thank you. It's a code. We break out of every code in order to expand to get to source code. We break out of every code how do you know it's a source code and how do you know it's a matrix code? A matrix code confines you to a certain vibration or rhythm. It does not allow the flow, the essence of the all, the birth date, the death date, the cycle dates. These are all putting you in a box to keep you within the confines of the system. But this young creation called humanity, what Brother Pan is saying, we have truly figured all of this out, but this is a last piece to the puzzle. The fight within self, within your own code. You're going to spar against your own code now. We've beat up all the bullies externally, spiritually. We called them out on their stuff. Now it's about sparring within to alchemize the negative traits from within. This is where we are. And when we do that, we can go beyond creation. Thank you, Gail, for the super chat. We can go beyond creation, right? Thank you so much. Thanks for the flowers. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Carolyn. We can go beyond creation. I'm going to repeat this exactly like this because this is the way that Spirit told me to say it once, and I have to always repeat this. How do we go beyond creation? What is going beyond creation? Beyond creation is beyond this space-time continuum. Going beyond creation aligns you back to the original cosmic womb, which is void of light, but is the original vibration of the Om. Going beyond creation is the stillness that still speaks because of the original vibration. And this is where source is, and source is part of this going beyond creation. In fact, you will not meet Mother Source until you go beyond creation. Father Source helps us inside of physicality because he's structure. But going to Source, going beyond creation, is going back home to Source. Source is the empty spaces in between every living thing. When I speak and when I stop speaking, the empty spaces, the pauses in between each word is Source. That is the vibration. It's not audible. It's a soul remembrance is what Source is. And Source is beyond creation, the empty spaces in between every living thing. Sit with that. Sit within the empty space. You don't always have to fill the room with words. It's not until we stop talking that we can actually listen. It's not until we stop talking that we can commune with Source energy. This is what it means to commune with Source energy. And you can go beyond creation daily through meditation. Beyond creation is the emptiness. It's not physicality, it's something greater. Potentiality, exponential potentiality is what is beyond creation. It doesn't care about your job, doesn't care about the things you care about, the things you need to do, your tasks, the material things, your relationships. It keeps no record of that. It cares about the stillness of the vibration of the because that's the only truth. That's the only truth. And in order to get there, you must alchemize. You must alchemize in order to ascend. You must go through the doors that they told you to keep shut. These will be the doors that will cause you to fear. This is what Brother Pan taught me. He was doing teaches, like I said, on the Baphomet and things of this nature. Because this is what the Matrix does and the elites do. The things that you need, the key codes, we all need key codes to get out of here. They will hide them in places that they know you will not go and look. Because the system of religiosity that they put into high order was to keep you locked out of the very doors that leads to your ascension. And this is what Brother Panic taught. There would be no me without Brother Panic. If Brother Panic had never came, there would be no Tahirah, Mother of the Ages. There just would not be. And I thank you for that. And I give reverence to that, and I honor that. This is why it's important for us to be who we are and be authentic. Because see, this is the beauty about what we get to do here on YouTube. It's not just about turning the camera on and hearing ourselves talk. This is why we do what we do. Because when we are gone, our words are still speaking. Because when we are gone to align humanity, because we know that they will alchemize to ascend, when we are gone, our words linger and they still teach. Therefore, we are still the living word. This is what we leave behind. And this is what Brother Pan has done so beautifully just by being himself. You must be yourself to alchemize. You must be yourself to realize. Real eyes realize fake lies, right? Mm, thank you. I see a ship in like a flying saucer, purple in my mind's eye. Thank you. This is how you get on these ships. You hit the vibration. You got to hit the vibration right. You got to line up with the vibration of it. I just hopped on. I just hopped on. Mandiri Italia ambona kananesha. Ambona karani nande hanire talia ambona kanire ani. Hi mona hane tahira nire tadidambete lirandireta. Mane shaneata. Hi mona karanirani he mane. He mane he mane kanambani retaleana. Ambona shanani ane tambe nane. Hane andi shinane ambanere anita mandiriti kara. This is how you control the ships right here. It's not anyone that can. He just taught me something. We're all talking about, see, these are family heirlooms, right? These are your family on these ships, right? They're not just any family. They're your galactic families. They're your star families. They're your cosmic families. You have to earn your seat and your way back home. It's vibration. You have to do the work. Got to do the work to get portaled out. You got to do the work. Interesting. I never thought I'd see something like that, but he, Brother Pan was driving the ship, you know, like with a cigar. No, that was an interesting image right there. That was an interesting image. That was beautiful. And someone says, thanks, sister and brother Panic, for an answer. The emptiness is important. Yet within the ascension, do we escape the body prison and free from the painful reincarnation cycles too? Yes, that's dead. It's what brother Pan really wants to. He's telling us, look, we kicked their ass, is what he's saying. We won. We done. It's done. There's no more Demiurge. There's nothing like that. It's over. The kingdom of darkness that they built on top of our kingdom is done because we have alchemized. It's done. You're free. And so when we leave this place, we will leave these bodies behind and we will step into new technological advanced bodies that will never die. There will be no such thing as death on the horizon. Not for everyone, but for the chosen elect. The ones who understand. You wouldn't even be on this channel right now if you weren't made of that caliber. You wouldn't be. So I'm talking to everyone here. We did it. They know they lost. We completed the Christ. We completed it because we all are showing up. It's what he shows me. And I got a confirmation. Someone sent me a picture with a huge sun. It's just a confirmation. We have used alchemy on them. They didn't think we would figure it out. We alchemized the Demiurge, Yaldabaoth, the Archons. They're done. This is what Brother Panic is saying. This is all of what he taught. This is everything of what he's taught. He's saying, mission accomplished. We did it. We did that. We did it. Beautiful. He wants us to trust the process. It's not easy to believe in all this stuff when the world is telling us something else. They're telling us, don't open that door. Remember, God said not to open that door. Do you think God wants you to be dumb? You think Father God is stupid? You think Source is dumb? You think God wants you to be dumb? That never made sense to me. And you know what? The beauty about my journey, here's the beauty about my journey, is that I left the church, I left Christianity. And I said, if this thing is true and correct, I will be able to prove it outside of itself. And this is what I've done. It's easy to prove something inside of it because you're in it. But can you step outside of it and take another path? And can that still stand up? And to be honest with you, I found that a lot of what is being not necessarily taught, because people are teaching it wrong, but a lot of the elements of Christianity, I find that they are true. And it's one thing to have faith and to believe what someone told you. That's not ascension and that's not alchemy. But it's another thing to go outside of it, walk another path, and to prove it that way. That is ascension. That is alchemy. But the people were teaching it wrong. But if you were to take it in its rawness, then you would be able to understand the vastness of it. And to be honest with you, most religious people don't understand that most of this Bible is talking about spaceships and intergalactic beings. They don't get that part because those doors are shut for them still, because they still have a veil on top of their eyes. The ones of us who have really gone on this path to true ascension by opening the doors that they told you to keep shut, we are the ones that will have access to all of the spaceships of your ancestors and your star families. They're all in the skies. We can hop on. We can go for a ride. There isn't anything separating us now from that. The matrix, it's not even about the matrix so much anymore. That's gone. We did the work to break out of that. You won't know until this physical body leaves and you now get your new technologically advanced body. Another thing that brother wants to say, and then I'll get back to I Am Warrior, your question. What he's saying too is anything that you lacked here on earth, it will be spiritually given to you. So let's say you had an amputation in a leg, you're going to get a spiritual leg. You had an amputation, or even if you had an organ or something that's missing, you're about to receive that spiritually. These are the things that we now have access to. We have access to the full power and the full glory. These are what these doors have allowed us to do. Because remember, before everything was together, spirituality was together with medicine. Spirituality, religion, medicine, all of this was together. Then when the different councils came along, they separated it. They gave religion to church, the spiritualists, they took this alchemy and herbs and natural healing and all of those things. And then we now we have medicine, which, they gave to the hospitals and doctors and things of that nature. But now what I'm saying is, because we've used alchemy on them, we've alchemized, because we weren't afraid of all of their systems. When they told us you need to take this pill, you need to take this blood pressure drug, what did we do? We went into meditation. We went into self-healing, right? We alchemized all their little fear they were trying to throw at us. And this is how we have won, right? And so what Brother Pan is saying is that you have earned the right to the missing pieces of yourself. You're about to receive that back, but it will be spiritual. You can't see it, your spiritual leg, right? So what this means is you will gain more abilities, the ability to now walk as you would have, but this is spiritually speaking. Because sometimes when we lose certain things in the physicality, it starts to affect our mind subconsciously. These things are what is being restored. And so now we can go back to the one divine mind of source. Because you have beat the devil on each level. We've now turned in and we beat even the different zodiac gods within. So we are sparring within self, refining the light, finding the lower vibration of the higher solid, and now choosing to refine that and come up to the level of the highest vibration within. So now that we have done that, now we're back to the one divine mind, because we're not going to bring trash to it, right? And so now we are just existing within the I am, not the vibration. Mother Source is the vibration, the empty spaces in between every living thing. The one divine mind is the electric spark of the soul, which is father's domain. Mother's domain, this is all energetically speaking, right? Mother's domain is spirit. Spirit consciousness. Consciousness comes from her. Spirit, which is the substance of life. We can equate that to water. It should not be contained. The moment you try to contain it, you have led to a destructive path. This was the problem with this creation. This was the problem with earth, because we tried to contain that to now bring flow, mother source, into material matter. And this is why we get storms, and this is why, things start to unearth, because flow will always flow. Even if you try to hold it down for a period of time, but it will not work, because this was the problem. We didn't understand that. The Demiurge and Yaldabaoth, they didn't understand that flow will always flow. And this is now when we're understanding. So now when we decide to now become matter yet again, we will figure out a way to do it from a higher dimensional plane, which is to keep mother source, spirit consciousness, to keep that flow. What is that going to do? It's going to allow you, even if you are in a material world, using the energetic spark from father source's soul, it's going to allow you divine connection to spirit. This was the problem with our creation. We were cut off from her when she was captured, when flow became solidified, which is mother source. So now when we create anew, we will do it in a way where we will keep flow. And so our next creations that will be formed, we will have access in between some form of material world, which will be charged and led by the electric spark of the soul. So it's going to be a different physicality than what Yaldabaoth did, which is more prison, right? Oh, the bodies and, being under certain signs and all of that captures you, the emotions, right? The traumas, the templates, that's all going away. And so the new world that we are building, which now, and this, thank you. And I want to point out, guys, the reason why I'm able to talk like this is because Brother Panic's energy is here, right? And so I'm able to deliver this message this way. So I want you to understand that what we have done is so remarkable for the entire cosmic sphere. And even the ones that didn't believe in you opening up door number 1 and 2, they will be singing praises, because it is us, people like us, that has caused the collective ascension or collective rising. They got grafted in, even though they didn't do the work, because we alchemize their fear to transcend and to ascend. And so I thank you, Brother Pan, for this very powerful meeting of the spirit mind. And so this is what we have to look forward to moving forward with humanity. We are truly, truly, truly going to build something that is so powerful. Can you imagine still being able to have physical experience, but not have a body to do it? But instead, we're going to have a vehicle or a Merkaba, or, like I've been channeling for the past few months, tetrahedron technology, which is a higher vibrational form of the Merkaba, which is your light vehicle. This will be our next form of creation. When the void comes towards the light, right, is what I'm hearing. So can you imagine having that physical experience, but not being held down in a physical body. To answer your question, this is where we're going. So you're going to have a Merkaba or tetrahedron technology, which is your new light vehicle. And it's going to be on a grid that connects you to everything within the cosmic sphere. Within everything, we're moving beyond the interdimensional, right? The interdimensional is for earthlings. We're going well beyond that. We will always have some sort of interdimensional societies. They will survive the blast that's coming. These would be the underground civilizations that are currently underground, possibly even some of the ones that are on the outer perimeters of Antarctica, and even the ones that will be formed in the future. There will be some of these civilizations that will survive what is coming when the earth is consumed with the power of the electric spark of the sun. So what happens? Thank you. Oh, brother Panic, you're on fire. So what truly happens is when we have this new creation, when Mother Source, right, what she's going to do, she's not going to allow herself to get trapped anymore, but what she will do, her void will come towards the light, not touching the light, still keeping her flow. But what it does is when the void comes close to the light, now instead of the first time, her essence was captured to create matter. That matter now allowed the solidification of her spirit to now be formed in bodies of all different types and different beings to go throughout these different dimensions, right? But this time, what we are choosing to do, because that failed and that did not work, this time, what we are choosing to do is Mother Source will bring towards her void, her flow, her waters. They will not touch, but it will ignite Father Source's soul. And now it will create another, so to speak, Big Bang, but this time it will be a spark. What will that spark? It will spark the tetrahedron vehicle, the new tetrahedron technology, which is your updated, upgraded Merkaba. This will allow physical experience, but it will put you on a grid that you will be able to travel all throughout the omniverse and through different dimensions of time and space. And your home, where will be your home? Your home will remain the empty spaces. You're going to naturally have cloaking technology. When you go home within the light vehicle, you will be back with the void. This is the difference. We have not been back with the void for eons. So now this is where our creation is going. We figured out some of the kinks of the last creation. And so when you go offline on the grid, you go back to the void to be with Mother Flow, spirit consciousness. Always communing with the infinite vibration, never separate from it. We never had to capture Mother Source to have physical experience. That became a captivity. This will be the new way, and we will create something fresh and new and better. And so to answer your question, this is what will happen when we go beyond creation. We align back with the void, and then we spark out anew through the vibration of the spirit conscious waters, moving closer towards Father Source's soul. Solar energy will ignite a spark. Now there is soul, which is a spark. The technology is formed, the tetrahedron, which we're already creating. It's an energetic field. It's a vehicle. Now we have a new creation. So to answer your question, when we go beyond creation, we go beyond creation to now create a new, because Source is naturally an expansion force. We will always be in this level in these birthing seasons, going through these universal birthing cycles, contraction and expansion, contraction and expansion, contraction and expansion, right? So I'll go to the chat here. Okay. Thank you, Caroline. I told my sister that. Purple, lilac, bean, I saw 2 nights ago. Yes, you were probably seeing the spaceship. I am warrior. So we're blocked from heaven, stuck in the matrix of depth trapped and forced reincarnation. But now heaven is open. What about the death traps? Have they been transmuted, alchemized? Yes, it's gone. I know it's hard to believe, guys, that we're free, but we've been doing this for what? Eons. We're free. This is one of the reasons why Brother Panic has went ahead. He was working on all these things. And the truth is, how was he able to do that? Because he did not fear. He already had started to unravel their fear. And when he went into those spaces that they told you to keep the door shut, this is how he got the knowledge to now not only free himself, but to free us. This is the reason why he had to leave early. For this reason alone. His energy has opened up for these, it feels like meteorites, or it could be solar, flashes or flares, but there was something that needed to be unleashed to now finish the alchemization of all of those fear and lower level templates. And so once that happened, all of the work that we have been doing naturally became alchemized. At the end of an age, too, we're able to alchemize these big energies and work through some of these massive templates, right? That served a purpose. They served a purpose for refinement of the soul. But now it's time to transcend, is what he's saying. Alchemize to transcend. To now go back to the empty spaces in between every living thing. To now go beyond creation. To now birth out another creation on a higher dimensional frequency. And then the process repeats because we are about the expansion. Source is expanded consciousness. Thank you. Energetic transmission is happening as you speak, sister. Yes, guys. This is a very beautiful energy, empty spaces, which is full of life. Yes, freedom. Yes, everything's in the empty spaces. That's the potentiality. Once something becomes physical, it gets a life script. It gets some sort of box, something to confine it, something to limit it. This was the problem with this creation. We became limited. We are going unlimited because we're going back beyond creation. And then what we will do next time is we will keep Mother Source sovereign. We will not capture her flowing waters to make matter, to make density. We do not make density. That is wrong. Everything that is made of density will be removed. And this is all these different dimensions. Everything will be removed. We are creating a whole new grid, a whole new world. This is the beauty. Hi, beautiful sisters, Buffalo Wild Wings and Sonia. Welcome in. You're going to want to rewind this one. It is powerful. So this is truly what Brother Pan wants to say. And whew, thank you. There's also something too that I need to tell you guys about. There's something too I need to tell you guys about. Hold on one second. Yep. Source just ain't never lied. Source ain't never lied. Yesterday I wanted to say something and I slipped up and I said the wrong word. But the wrong word ended up being the right word. And I'm going to tell you what I slipped up and said. I wanted to say, I forgot what I was trying to say. I was trying to say a word to start with an L, but I instead I said, oh, lender. I said, you're going to be the lender, not the borrower. But I think I slipped up and said the lender or something like that. Well, I looked it up, and lenting, what it says about lenting is the automated checking of your source code for programmatic and stylistic errors. This is done by using a tool, a lint tool, otherwise known as a linter. So this is what I'm saying. So what was happening was I was literally, I guys, you know, I always talk about source codes. And it's like maybe you guys don't even know what source codes are. I was literally, the vibration of the spoken word was automatically checking my source codes for any problematic or stylistic errors. That is beautiful. We are running code in the background as I'm talking to you. My source codes are checking every word to make sure that it is of the higher vibration. So when I tell you guys that we are in real time, we are seeing our technology. This is why I teach people we are human technology. We, we're truly just technology, but right now we are human technology. But it's cool to know that the source codes you have are working and providing keen discernment. So much so that it will even check for stylistic errors. What does stylistic errors mean? It means the inflections in my voice. If I say something this way, people that take in more information, more inferred, they will read the energy of what I am saying at this higher vibration or frequency level. If I say it a little bit more monotone, those same people will now have probably more of a negative view, even if I said something positive. So the source codes, when I was delivering that message yesterday, this was a confirmation of the word that my source codes were running the program in the background, checking for any stylistic errors. We know that what I was saying was right, but making sure I am high vibrational here when I need to be, and I'm when I need to be here to be more serious, to be more firm, that I am right here. And this is the difference between the old version of self and the new self. The new self is self healing technology. The new self is this higher vibrational technology. The new self is alignment with the source codes. Our source codes are activated and online. You can't mess it up. It's just for you to get away from their fear template and to now understand that you as a sovereign being has checks and balances built within your system now. This was not possible even 10 years ago. This is part of the upgrade technology that I've been talking about we are receiving from the Cosmic Bible. Guys, if you do not own a Cosmic Bible, it's a book that I wrote with source. It's all channeled from source, directly from God. Pick it up on Amazon. Link will be down below. Because it literally states everything that we are experiencing in this season. It literally explains it, right? And so this is kind of what I want to say. And last thing I want to say before I get out of here, because I always forget, I want to go back to the healing session that I had with Yaldabaoth, with me and my spiritual team removing Yaldabaoth. And it's interesting that Brother Pan mentions that the Demiurge is gone too. I believe that the reason why someone doesn't want me to talk, the reason why Brother Pan's energy is because of the work that was done. Yaldabaoth was a huge energy that was allowing the archons and the demiurge to still set up shop. But now that we've taken out the Yaldabaoth, all of his minions are gone too. They just packed it up. We took out the one that was giving them orders. So please, we're free. Please just know that you are free and you can live within your sovereignty and your new technology. Well, when we were removing Yaldabaoth, we noticed something very auspicious with Mother Source's water. So in the creation story, how God created the heavens and the earths, and then he rested on the seventh day. This is where our work led us to. There was something that happened on the seventh day where there was an energy that came in during the stillness. During the stillness, there was an energy that came in to now collude the frequency of humanity. So from the very beginning, this creation always had something not upright, because on the seventh day of supposed to be rest is when the infliction happened. So from the very beginning, we were already doomed, humanity. Now we just had to live all of these eons to now unravel what was taking place, because this is what happens when you create something that is not of balance, when you steal the spirit consciousness, the flowing waters of Mother Source. Because also too, what we found is that the creation of the days out, the stealing of the vibration, the spirit waters of Source. And so every day was cursed, because every day was the usage of feminine energy to create that day. And we also found that, to be honest with you, and I spoke about this before, but the male energy has always siphoned the feminine energy, because we found this is how creation started. During that creation process, it was the stilling, remember, of the original flow of Source of water. This is how Yaldabaoth did it. He tricked her into merging with him. She became now captured small, because remember, water is flow, water is infinite, but now water is not infinite. So you became not infinite. And then she materialized into matter, and then the energy fell down. This is how we get the fallen gods too, came down through these different dimensions. And then this gets us to where humanity is, right? And all of that, every bit of the material world was built off of the vibration of the feminine energy, the spirit consciousness. And what we found was that the cycle, the menses that they gave women, was to line up with, I believe, different moon cycles. But what it was to do was to siphon the eggs of the feminine for the Ishtar and Moloch fertility festival on Easter. This is what true Easter is. So it's the siphoning of the feminine potentiality. This is Source. It's the siphoning of those eggs. Those eggs, they get siphoned during a woman's cycle, which can last to what? Up to 7 days. So you have to understand that we never had it right. From the very beginning, this thing was always going to fail, because we can't have mother flow caged up and trapped. That was the problem with this creation. So now, as I already explained, we're going to do it from a higher vibration. She's only going to draw her waters near, but not merge. And that's going to create, Father, just a spark. So think about it. It's like when a very beautiful woman that is just all flowy and creative gets next to a man. What does he feel? He feels a spark. That's what they're going to do this time. So essentially, Mother Source is saying, I ain't giving you none. You're not about to capture me again. I might flirt with you. I might get close to you. And then that's how we're going to spark this creation this time. And so what that truly means too, we probably will not be reproducing like this in the next season, right? That we're going into in the next creation. We probably won't be producing like that, reproducing. It will be something totally new. But I just wanted to say that to you guys so we understand the power of the feminine energy. Understand the power of your own feminine energy, right? Because there would be nothing material without it. You can't do without it. Can't do without it. And so there's so much more I think I could say within that, but I think I'm going to leave this right here for the sake of time. I thank you so much, Brother Pan. It is, I'm sure there's more that he wants to say, but this was his energy. Just having his energy here allowed me to go ahead and make sense out of all the work that we've been doing on this channel. And I would love the opportunity to share these messages, right, with other people and other channels, and really get this message out, all these messages, because I feel that we all have a piece to the puzzle, and every voice needs to be heard, right? Every voice needs to be heard. So thank you so much for coming through, Brother Pan, spending this time with us today to deliver this very powerful message to humanity. And please do not be a stranger. I love you so much. Thank you again for being my number one spiritual teacher. And thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And may you have a very, very blessed day as we walk together in divine love. Be well. Be well, guys. Bye.